You ever hear that saying from artists? They be like, they don't understand how other artists get writer's block because their problem is there's too much creativity like spinning in their mind. I feel the same way with the news. Like before I cut the stream on for like the last 30 seconds, I'm just scrolling my Instagram. I be seeing so much random stuff going on that we could talk about. Look at this. It says reports say Young Thug is rescheduling his album release to September 26th due to artists pulling their features off. What the hell? Y'all see that? Y'all see that? That's not even going to be a topic today. I'm gonna leave that alone. We'll come back to that later. Then I'll scroll some more. Interrogation footage is becoming huge content on the internet. Look at this one. Footage of somebody getting a whole happy meal, and they're talking about as soon as he started eating, he started talking crazy. Maybe I'll do some research on how interrogation footage is available. It's got to be from multiple different channels. Like if you're part of the case and it's part of your discovery, your lawyers could get it. Sometimes we believe the authorities leak it. Like it's gonna be very, very, very uh, just highly viewed content for years to come. People love true crime. So now when you got interrogation footage, and it's not just the hip hop world, it's just gonna keep coming and coming and coming. And then I see this one. I didn't know this until 30 seconds ago. Stephen A. Smith says Molly abruptly resigned as the host from First Take. What's that about?
She abruptly resigned as the host of the show. And to say that I'm quite sad about it is an understatement.
Oh, my bad.
Molly is a friend. Molly is a co-worker. Molly is somebody that I have leaned on many occasions in the past, as she has done when it comes to me. We've been partners.
I'll watch it later. What is going on? Good morning. All right, let's get on track. Let's get on normal track now. Good morning. Good morning to the whole chat. Good morning to the green team and the members. Good morning to the mods. Um, Everybody, man. I appreciate y'all. Where we at? Wednesday, middle of the week. We're getting there. We marching down this week, man. I really also appreciate everybody that tweeted me. I got a couple DMs as well yesterday about yesterday's intro to the stream. A lot of people identify. It's so funny to catch so many people off guard, but at the same time, so many other people that's just like, nigga, duh. Like we could hear it in your topics. So the mixed bag of it is hilarious. But I appreciate y'all letting me have my little vulnerable moment and talk about something that is the most important to me, and then also the byproducts of why I talk the way I talk on this podcast and certain doors I've kept closed for topics that we cover. But we are opening those doors one at a time. So I appreciate y'all. Okay. Today, what do we got? We got Dame Dash, his interview on the Breakfast Club. Y'all see that in the thumbnail, right? Title says Dame Dash Breakfast Club interview addresses everyone. We're gonna pull up some of his stuff related to him being the chairman at Revolt. We're gonna pull up Cam already responded. We're gonna pull up the paid in full stuff. Does 50 Cent really have ownership now of the paid in full imprint or brand or movie or the series that he said is coming? We'll take a look at some of that. Will he have controversy around his, I guess, gay comments towards you not being a masculine black man because you talk like this or you're chatty? I don't know. Is he going to get in trouble for that? You know, it's very, very sensitive. Anything related to the LGBTQ community. So gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. We saw what happened with Adrian, Broner, and Camron yesterday, right? We're gonna bring that up. What else do we got? We're gonna do some battle rap today. Coffee Brown and Official. Whoa. What is going on with the ladies? Shout out to the ladies. I'm gonna pull up some of that footage, and I don't even have a direction in my mind. We'll take it from there after we watch it together. Okay, we got the Charlie Kirk updates, the shooter, the alleged shooter, some alleged text messages that were released between him and I believe his roommate. We got another update for the singer David, spinning off of yesterday's topic as well. So we got some stuff. Y'all ready to start walking? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I see y'all bright and early. I hear y'all. Um, no, I haven't, Sean, but I appreciate the reminder. Westside Gun, I definitely fuck with him. So let me catch up on this ASAP. But all right, y'all ready to get to work? Let's start off with some of the Breakfast Club footage, man. Hilarious. Dame Dash. I think this is a video of some of the highlights.
Editing for 6 months. Stupid. I would care. You think I would care what a girl like you thinks?
Yeah, because
You're a girl. Think he's masculine? Would you want this man around you if 10 guys jumped you? He'd run, and you'd have to run with him.
Let's chill for a second. I think that's all the highlights of Dame Dash versus Charlamagne the God. Oh my! Where do we start with just that? Because there's gonna be more pieces that we're gonna bring up. I got to go to the articles from Vibe and Camron's response and the painful stuff and the Revolt stuff. We're gonna bring that up after this video. But if I just try to think about just the main points from this video, the gay stuff, he got to be careful. He might have a problem with that. You just know how sensitive it is out there. So you got to tone that down, man. Like, I know Dame and a lot of us in this chat, we come from a different era where that F word and the gay, like people said it so casually, but we know how times have changed. So, it is what it is. This whole setup, though, of Dame versus Charlamagne, it even happens with Dame. What was he tweeting? Saying, I want a verbal fade. So you take somebody like Dame Dash, who's like a king debater, king arguer, aggressive guy, arrogant at times, will stun on you, will offend you, will disrespect you, will insult you. And Charlamagne, who's built for radio, who's built for viral content. Be clear, this is content for both of them, 100%. Dame is on a promo run right now. He's on an image campaign right now. He's trying to collect checks right now, which is a good thing. And Charlamagne does this for a living, literally. They showed in a clip during this interview, Dame Dash's picture from the previous video that went viral interview is painted on the wall. This is what they're all here for. This is what they all understand is going to happen. This is damn near the target. It's just who's going to look better in the mix of it. Be clear, the little mama and Charlamagne moment is intentional. The Charlamagne the God and Fredro Starr moment is intentional. The Charlamagne the God and Beanie Siegel moment is intentional. The Breakfast Club and the baby all tree, y'all. It's not. I'm not saying it's plotted and planned to the T, but you're gonna pull on certain chords, and you're gonna, like, when Charlamagne is so smart and so sharp, and Dame is smart and sharp too. Just that one moment when y'all heard me react, and I said that was almost a setup. When he says you're gay, and then Charlamagne throws it out, they say, you got a problem with gay people? Now Charlamagne knows he's not speaking up as himself being a gay man, but that's a trap. And Dame didn't fall in the trap, though. He was like, no, I don't have a problem with gay man, but let's just talk about masculinity. I'm talking about you. You know what I'm saying? So there's just so much shit going on between these two guys, but they know what they're there for. Okay, all right, let me go to this point right here. Dame, he moves with a narrative of, he invented the term, right? Chatty Patty. And that's a lot why he's calling Charlamagne a girl. And he's, the gay thing he's trying to put on him and all that because of him talking a lot and the gossiping nature of radio and podcasting and digital and media that Dame has never transitioned into. He's gone back and forth with some of the people that made a huge transition into modern day content. 50 Cent. Okay, 50 will troll. He will get in your business. He will dig up dirt on you. He will gossip. He will talk about you or whatever. And the best of the best do it. A lot of billionaires and millionaires are in this content fucking stream and lane for a reason. And Dame tried to get into it pretty much with the launch of the new network platform with his YouTube channel. And he's admitted, like, you know what, I might as well come over into this space a little bit more as well. I think he's got a little bit of an old school philosophy as far as the game, the industry, being so stuck, damn near feels like he's still, trying to create DVDs. I'm just speaking terminology. I don't mean literal. I'm trying to create DVDs when people is over here on some AI shit. He's like 54 years old. And I feel like he's got old philosophies when it comes to the industry. And you couple that with his personality, it creates a lot of problems for him, obviously, okay? The thing about, and I'll never preach this to my chat, the thing about having like a 9-to-5 or being somewhere consistently for work. He tries to turn the Breakfast Club studio and platform into a coffin. He says, you can't go nowhere. I say you have to be here every day at 4 a.m. So you're missing out on life. Well, that's always a subjective outlook on life, right? I've had conversations with people where you ask them, how much money do you think it is to be rich? Now, if you go chat GPT, what's the definition of rich? If you go Google, how much money do you need to be rich? You're going to get all these different answers. But the subjective nature of it, now we're going into kind of like, let's be real and jewel mode a little bit. Ask person to person, somebody might say, shit, amount of money about being rich isn't my form of rich. My rich is being next to my children every day. Or my rich is simply in the midst of a recession or in today's climate, today's economy, being able to pay my bills and still have a couple dollars to put aside. That's rich to me. Some people might say making more than the average American household income, and whatever that is right now, it might be 80, it might be 90. I don't know. I haven't pulled it up in years, but if 80 is the mark for the average American household income, and somebody makes 100,000, they might say then that's rich. Some people love that $1 million number. I got $1 million. That makes me rich. Some people don't even understand the difference between cash or, let's say digital currency. Well, I don't care if it's a cash app. I don't care if it's you swiping a card versus assets or things that are liquid. Some people don't even understand that difference. Like there's people out there that believe to be a millionaire, you have to have $1 million cash in a suitcase. You watch too much rap videos. Okay. I don't give a fuck about that duffel bag. All right. That's really for the look. That's really for the image. Nobody walks. They're going to do the money phones in the videos and on the Instagram posts, but nobody walks around like that. Okay. Anyway, to be a millionaire, you have to have $1 million in assets. Okay. So for example, if I have $800,000 in the bank and $200,000 in home equity, okay, I am a millionaire. If I have $500,000 in my savings account, $250,000 in stocks and bonds, now that's what, 750, and then another $250,000 in let's say a collectible hobby, but that's still an asset. Some people collect valuable coins. You are a million, 250 in that. You are a millionaire. All right. You have to have $1 million in assets to be a millionaire. Certain type of jewelry could be considered an asset, things that will appreciate with value. That's why some people gravitate to Rolex, because Rolex maintains its value a lot. A lot of people in certain eras got off of platinum and a lot of the bullshit. Some people don't even deal with diamonds as much because they just like solid gold is it. Gold will always maintain strong value. What else? Anyway, liquid things out there. You have card collectors. I collect cards. I've been in the card hobby since I was a kid. Got back into it again as an adult. Some of that stuff is liquid. Some of that stuff I could take. You could have, like, let's say a Kobe Bryant rookie card, right? You take a Kobe Bryant rookie card, you put it on eBay right now, depending on which one it is. Like, let's say if it's a Kobe Bryant autograph rookie card. I saw one in what is that store in Caesar's Palace? For y'all that know Caesar's Palace in Vegas, and I just went and looked at to see if they still had it, because every time I go to Vegas, I go in the back and I look and I see if it's still there. They have an autographed Kobe rookie card. It's like a memorabilia store inside Caesar's, and they got a lot of signed posters, autographed memorabilia. The stuff that's in the store might equate to like $100 million. It's just too much shit in there. Every time I leave that place, the owner, I tell them congratulations, because even though it's for sale, it's still all liquid. So that the fact that you own it, that's an asset for you. You see what I'm saying? He's got a Kobe Bryant rookie card that's autographed in the back of the store, and he's selling it for $100,000. Okay, so imagine I own that card, just sitting up collecting dust in my bedroom or some shit like that. If I put it on eBay today, it's treated as liquid. Okay, so I say all that to say, Dame Dash, he has a lot of good points to him, but he also has some cap to him in regards to pushing his philosophies to save his own character or his own image. All right, like somebody that's out of work often. I'm not saying Dame now in this case. Somebody that's out of work a lot. Sometimes you hear those people say shit like, shit, I ain't reporting to no 9 to 5. I ain't report. You ever come across those people? Right? You ever meet those people? I ain't 9 to 5. I ain't going to work every day. Okay, like how have you been over all of these years though? You know what I'm saying? You've had your times where you've been up, you've had your times where you've been down. I've seen you be fucked up many years, right? And you preach something really to kind of hide your own shortcomings. Okay. Dame does that a bunch. And I pick up on it. You know, we see it. So there's a billion people that realize how much of a privileged position it is, especially if that is your niche, if that is something you love to do, and if that's something that you had aspirations for, to work in major radio, to sit in Charlamagne the God's seat every day. But Dame will define that as a coffin because he's not waking up with a schedule like Charlamagne the God is waking up with a schedule. People, especially in today's economy, they saying it's a recession without the government really promoting it. I tweeted the other day, I said, people, maintain financial paranoia. Remember to keep putting some of your money away. You get a check for $100, try to put 10, 20, 30 of it away. Those are the times that we're in. All these businesses closing down, all these companies consolidating and firing. It is shitty outside right now. It is bad out there right now, people. So you really want me to listen to a Dame Dash that says such a prominent opportunity and position like Charlamagne the God sitting as an anchor within 105.1 for 15 years, making millions of dollars and millions of fans and doing what he loves as a natural speaker? That's a coffin. We've never heard about him owing $25 million. Now, to Dame's side of things, well, actually, this isn't really going to help Dame. I just thought about something that might help Dame, but let's talk about this family office thing that he's been preaching a lot. I've knew about the terminology for quite some time. I've never been interested in it because I don't have a bunch of entrepreneurialism within my family like that. The entrepreneurialism, you know, with things like, let's say, a hair and nail salon that I once owned, RBE, the Sorry Shoe podcast, like little ventures that I've over my years. My family, I don't have a lot of family, like blood relatives that do that type of stuff. Okay, they're into different type of stuff, not like what Verb would say or like what weirdo bloggers would say. We already brought that stuff up, but the family office for Dame Dash makes a lot of sense because once you get into 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 million of reported type of assets and money, the family business structures make sense because it consolidates. I think one of the biggest things that a financial office does, though, which is to me one of the, if not the main reason why Dame Dash pushes it over on people that he one ear and don't interpret and see some of his tactics, is a financial office, I believe, not disguises, but it makes your finances private. Okay. Now, if you have tax issues for 10 plus years, if to his own words, he's saying every year I spend $250,000 in child support. I'm sorry, Dame. Yeah, you bumped into the sorry is true guy. Fuck. I was trying to help him for a second. But anyway, when you are getting sued every time you step outside for hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars, you got these people over here. If to your own words, you got people over here or baby mamas over here, and it's equating to $250,000 a year, right? That's 2. Then you got the IRS over here. That's 3 on your heels for 20 plus million. What? These are the people that one of your first priorities is to hide your money or to not allow the people that's suing you, the IRS or your baby mama, to know your liquid or your assets or your dollar for dollar. Right? You switch things up, you move things around, you even do things like file bankruptcy, as what 50 Cent did. Dame is right. Hey, the president, Donald Trump, he filed bankruptcy 50 Cent filed bankruptcy. I said before, there's different chapters of filing that people use to even protect their assets, make certain moves. You get with a financial advisor, you get with certain types of lawyers, and you realize, like, all right, I'm in a bad spot. IRS is on my heels. I'm in a bad spot. Baby mom's getting me for $250,000 a year. I'm in a bad spot. I'm getting sued by 20 different fucking people. Somebody, a smart person, is going to sit down with you and say, all right, here's a way where we can help you out. We got this thing called the financial or family office, you know, and he keeps alluding to it. And the me's of the world ain't missing it, Dame. That's why he starts breaking down the Godfather movie being his favorite. And he keeps hinting at, you know, like, are you guys realizing that I'm using this or I'm doing this stuff for a reason? He's pretty much admitting it. He's trying to hide his money because of these 3 big issues, and maybe even more than that, you know, where you can't reveal certain things, right? That's why when reports came that said he was worth $2,500, nobody believes that, right? But that's like a legal thing, okay? All I got is $500 in my savings. I think it showed a watch and an iPhone or some shit like that. Do we really believe that that's all that Dame Dash has? No. So one thing that Dame is doing, he's fronting a little bit. He's disguising a lot of it, but a lot of this is instigated by what? I don't want to just purely say ego, but there's a big ego element. He's not enjoying the reputation or people saying that he's broke. And he's coming up and he's addressing these things. People saying I'm broke. People talking about I'm getting sued. He'll sit in front of TMZ and explain their legal fees was probably millions of dollars, and all they won was $800,000. I don't know how much their legal fees was, and you don't either. That's between client, attorney, privilege type of information. You could assume based on maybe the hourly rate of the lawyers that you think you're going up against, but you don't know how much they're really paying at the end of the day. You don't know. You don't really know. All they want, he's justifying his losses in many different ways right in front of our eyes. And it doesn't come over for me. Yes, he got up on his Breakfast Club and kicked some ass at times. Yes, from an entertainment standpoint, from an argumentative standpoint, from a holding his ground standpoint in front of a natural debater like Charlamagne, from making at times Charlamagne look bad, dissing Charlamagne, staying sharp, being funny. Yes, Dame is walking away with media, content, narrative type of wins. But what's happening in his real life is being revealed in interviews like this. And that's even why interviews like this are coming about in the first place, why he wants these fades. I want to clean up what people are saying about my image and my character. All right. Damn, I feel like that breakdown should have happened like at the end of Dame Dash. But I'm just processing. All right, let's move on. Let's move to the Revolt thing. And this got a little bit funny too. It's who knows, right? Fucking now. I think we're gonna take some guesses after this, but Revolt CEO confirms Dame Dash is not the chairman of the company. Hold on. Let me give an intro to this. While Dame Dash is up there trying to prove you know, how he's not broke and how he's catching these wins, and this is why my teeth fell out and all this, yada, 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 yada. Right. Mind you, it was just a week ago where he said Camron pretty much was the beginning to the Rockefeller fallout because he was the one that went public before anything signed black and white when it was only conversations. Well, not him, Camron. Camron went public saying that he was about to be like a CEO or whatever within Rockefeller. Jay-Z came back and shut that shit down. But he said that created the biggest and the start of the rift between Dame and Jay and Rockefeller. And Bleak even said that was kind of like the beginning of it, right? So Dame just went after Cam for that. And here you are, because you're trying to prove to the world that you got stuff going on and you're not broke like all these news reports keep coming out, and you're not, the IRS isn't on you for 20 million and all that. What did you do? You got up there and you said, I have an announcement to make. Guess what, people? Breaking news. I am now the CEO of Revolt. You just did the same thing that you blamed Cam for. And now you got the CEO of Revolt coming out and making making or addressing it. So this email probably gets leaked to the TMZs and the shade rooms of the world, but it looks like it was to the staff. That's from the CEO. Team, I know some of you might have caught Dame Dash's interview on the Breakfast Club today. To set the record straight, Dame Dash is a hip-hop pioneer with a proven track record as a creator. Yes, we've been in conversation about potential partnerships, which could be anything. Things like licensing his shows and films for Revolt. They're a content platform. They might pick up Fat Joe. They might pick up something that Diddy got going on. They might pick up a Dame that they're a content platform. You know what I mean? So these are some of the discussions. But there is no signed deal. So you just chatty-patty yourself when it comes to business being horse in front of the carriage or carriage in front of the horse. You just did that, Dame. As per the CEO here, he is not the chairman of our company. He said he's about to be the chairman of Revolt. I think because of all the energy around you, and Dame even has an example of that where he says Paramount. Damn, I'm just processing that right now as I'm thinking. Like, you gave an example of this. You said you had something going on with Paramount, I think, in the interview, and they stepped in and they said, now's not a good time because of all the stuff going on, and he jumped off the topic real quick. Why would that not be the same for, like, let's say, Revolt, right? Does Sprite want to do a deal right now with Diddy? No. Dame, you're not looking good right now from a branding standpoint. So when we heard you say you about to be the chairman of Revolt, that could be true. I'm not a hater, but I definitely would look at Revolt and say, can y'all co-sign this? Are y'all sure? Because normally big companies like this, when they brand the chairman or they bring something like, he wouldn't have what's going on like a Dame right now. It doesn't look good, right? But that's just common sense and logic. Dame could have still been right, but this is the CEO's alleged response. There is no acquisition path on the table. The quote from me in Vibe is completely fabricated. I never said any of that. If anything that major were happening, you'd hear it directly from me. Now, here's what's true. We just announced our partnership with Naomi Osaka's Hana Kuma in sports. Illustrated yesterday, Black women and women more broadly are doing powerful things in sports and culture. He's talking about a whole different topic outside of Dame now. Our audience numbers across YouTube and social are hitting all-time highs, and we're working with some of the dopest creators in the culture. Camron, Drink Champs, Lene Vinny, I don't know who that is, Mariah Rose, Elsie, Hana, Kuma, I don't even know some of these people, but Speedy Mormon, Big Facts, and more. Don't get distracted. Let's stay focused and keep stacking wins today. Detavio Samuels, Chief Executive Officer, CEO. Dave, I'm just saying. So he already, there it is right there. Muddy in the water. So if somebody sues you and says, or got a judgment, not saying, if you and your lawyer got a judgment against Dame Dash for $800,000, and Dame Dash, because we saw some of this earlier this year, he's got these court updates where it seems like we're talking about liquidation at times, no? Things being sold. Why did the Rockefeller chain go up? Why did the Rockefeller Reasonable Doubt album go up for sale, Dame? Like me, I have certain assets that are priceless to me. Let's say I'll just create an example, not for me personally. Let's say Michael Jordan is my idol. Not just as a sports figure, like I really want to be him. I met him. He saved my life in a car crash, whatever. And one day I get a signed basketball from him. I may not look at that basketball as like, oh, that's worth $1 million. I might look at it as something that's priceless to me. The only time that thing goes on eBay or goes on Amazon or whatever is when I'm in a crunch. That Reasonable Doubt ownership, wasn't it Biggs or whoever? They were just like, I ain't never sell what? Nah, or my stake in Rockefeller. Certain things are supposed to be priceless unless you have issues, and that's where the word liquidation comes around. Then we saw the videos where you got to the point where people weren't rocking with the Rockefeller purchase from you. You were selling it, or the Reasonable Doubt album purchase. You were selling it because people also saw Jay-Z's side response. Like, I'm fitting the way it's set up in X amount of years, that ownership comes to me anyway. So that's muddying the waters for you. It doesn't look like a good purchase. It looks like, wait a minute, am I in possession of alleged, like air quote, stolen property? Which means that I bought this from somebody, but the cops could run up on me anytime and say, taking that from you, even though you exchanged money for it. No, it don't belong to you. So people back the fuck up. He said Drake expressed interest in the purchase of it. And that's the type of shit Drake does anyway, right? Because he has like a little competition thing with fucking Jay-Z at times or whatever. He would love to have that shit sitting next to Pharrell's chain. But let me not get off track. I'm Rain Man, and stay with me, Reference King. But you were liquidating, buddy. We saw it. You were liquidating. All right. So back to my point of when a lawyer or a plaintiff wins a judgment, let's say an $800,000 judgment. If you're going to court and it's, judge, I can't pay this person because I don't have it. I only have $2,500 to my name. When you pop up in news headlines and it's reported you're now about to be a chairman of Revolt, or you pop up like this new deal is about to go through with Paramount, and he just mentioned it right here, right? The plaintiffs that's sitting over there in the shadows say, hearing updates from their lawyer, like, oh, he's saying that he don't got the money yet. We're gonna have to figure out how to get this a different way, right? We're gonna have to put liens on his property, try to get the judge to put a lien on his bank accounts and all this type of shit. This is where the family office shit comes in, right? This is where the bankruptcy filings to protect yourself comes in, okay? And this is where the muddying of the waters actually will happen, because if you owe me money, I'll make it simple. Hey, Tate, my brother Tate, love him to death. I'll do anything for the fucking guy. You know what I'm saying? We laugh about it, but you still owe me $1,000, nigga. And Tate is on his Instagram every week, balling out of control, going on lavish vacations. I'm gonna pull up your fucking Instagram right now, you bastard. Look at you. Let me find some shit on your gram. Look at this. He posting lavish dinners and lunches. What is this? Rome? Are you in Rome right here, nigga? Where are you? Is this Paris or some shit? What the fuck? Look at this nigga. It's like Egypt. Look at this shit. He balls in my... Yo. Look at all these vacation trips and shit. Horseback riding and on the beach. Horseback riding on the beach is crazy. Fuck that nigga Adam $1,000. But I'm using him as a joke because now imagine it's an enemy. That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? That $1,000 is gonna go back and forth one way or another. We'll fuck around, get on a vacation, and have some stupid dinner or some dumb shit, and he'll pay for it. And like, that's what niggas really. I'm telling the truth, but I'm joking at the same time. Like, so me and him is good. We're fucking brothers. But imagine your enemy, somebody that took you to court and sued you, and that person is owed maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you on your Instagram balling out of control in front of them. They're going to call their lawyer and they're going to say, he just signed this deal, or he's got this album, or can we put a lien on that? So that's the muddying of the waters that Dame is talking about. You're doing the chapter filing of bankruptcy. You're establishing the family offices, and you're reporting that you only have $2,500. But then to defend yourself, your ego still got you up here talking about, by the way, I'm the chairman of Revolt. I got this new movie coming. I got this coming, or whatever. People's going to stay on your fucking heels. Yeah. Inspiration for wanting to say you was the chairman of Revolt, because you know that his It Is What It Is show is signed under Revolt. And, you know, you got this whole thing about who's the boss. I'm your boss now. But we just read the fucking response from the CEO saying none of that shit is going on. What the fuck is, what is this about? So, Dame, let's be real. Your ego got you up here, which is why you wanted these verbal fades of all of the viral reporting around your lawsuits, your tax issues, people no longer answering your phone calls, and that's also a combination of something that I respect you for. You have a strong man pride about you. That's why when they ask you, like, yo, shouldn't Jay-Z help you? He's like, Jay, I'm not taking no helps or handout from no man. I'm a man. I respect that. I respect that about Dame. But his ego got him up here contradicting the fuck out of himself and exposing himself if you listen to the last 15, 20 minutes of the stream. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. We don't need the Vibe article. The CEO already addressed it. Let's go to Cam. So Cam, of course, has some stuff to say, and he will continue to have more to say. There will be more to come. He's a content guy, and at this point, we already saw that he don't fuck with Dame, right? So he could joke and be sarcastic. Dame, I love him, but let me tell you the story about when he had this shitty ass movie that I didn't want to help him promote. You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, you don't fuck with me. Like, don't try to act like you do. No, and so it's gonna get worse between them two. So, but here's Cam responding to the interview.
Nah, bro. I ain't know you be
Playing 50 Cent in the background.
lying like this, bro. I ain't know you be lying like this, yo. It's sad. They told me, but you know when a nigga your man, you don't pay attention to a lot of shit. I didn't know, bro, that you a flagrant liar like this, man. Now look, Talk with Flea come on tomorrow, 5 p.m. on Revolt's YouTube. But that was shit that he talked about last week. So part 2 will be out this Friday on Revolt YouTube about what he talked about this week. But I'll say this one thing. This is what I will say. The nigga called Revolt last week and say he wants to put his content on Revolt channel. Revolt programming is booked up until 2026. They don't have any room for programming. So maybe in 2026 or whatever. So I have 2 more shows I could do this year. And so when I found that out, I called my man Fendi, because I know what Fendi and Dame speak. I said, yo, tell Dame, I'll put his shows on my slot on Revolt, because I have 2 more shows I could put on Revolt, if I can executive produce the shows. I said, he did it for me. When I needed help, he put my albums out on Rock.
It's a win-win.
I let him executive produce them. I'm trying to do the same thing for you. I got 2 slots left. If you want 2 shows on Revolt this year, and you wasn't getting paid because you said you do it for free, I got a couple of dollars for you. I'm just the executive producer of the show.
Petty.
He tell Fendi. First he tell Fendi, yeah, he like, I ain't bet. Nah, matter of fact, fuck that. I'm the Godfather. He can't executive produce my shows, Dame, their own God kids don't want you. How you the Godfather of anything? Your word don't count no more. You don't got teeth. You have dentures. Your word don't mean nothing. You fell off the Mount Rushmore of Harlem a long time ago. But we'll address it all tomorrow and Friday. But don't say I ain't trying to help out. You didn't want me to executive produce your TV shows. Could have walked it right in for you. See you tomorrow. Talk with Flea, nigga.
You're dealing with one of the most petty people to come through the space of hip-hop, Camron. That's number 1. Number 2, Dame, you're dealing with somebody that has his own platform. Number 3, you're dealing with somebody that has his own platform that is under a large umbrella. Revolt, right? That's like in like a battle rap space. Like you get into a back and forth with Piper Boy or Chris Unbiased or Angry Fan or me, ARP. We have our own platforms and we are willing to rain on you for 15 days straight, just like I did the Averb, and you're going to have to deal with that, and if we want to go 20 days, 30 days of running content on you, we will. Whack 100 has the same thing, 50 Cent's Instagram, it's just when you don't have your own, like, yes, Dame has his YouTube channel there, whatever, but Dame isn't his own creator, it seems. Like even the production of those sit downs that he does in his own crib for his own channel, you could see they're like Dame's editing. He's not shooting it, obviously, right? He's got to shoot it and edit that, and he's doing all that. And he's not even a weekly content person. Okay, Cam's getting paid to talk about whatever hot topic, and controversy always adds more dollars to the table. So Cam is fit, and then you add his petty nature, you're dealing with a losing uphill battle. And the same goes for me. It doesn't cost me anything to sit right here in this spot 7 days a week and say whatever the fuck I want to say. So that's a loss. This is why Dame spent weeks arguing with Cam to come on his platform, or tweeting the Breakfast Club, can I get a verbal fade? And they're gonna entertain it because that's the type of content they're looking for anyway. That's why Dame Dash's picture is painted on the wall of the Breakfast Club. So they're like, come on up. But now when you leave the Breakfast Club, they're gonna bring you back up in a week. No, they probably see you again in a week. I mean, a year or two, right? So now you got to deal with the questions. It's the same thing with Young Thug. What about the questions? What about when the CEO comes out and says, professionally, you're lying? What about when Cam goes and runs a week worth of content on you? What about when academics and all these different podcasts pick it up? Like, so it's a losing battle, and it's some of what motivates you to even say some of the stuff that you shouldn't be saying publicly in the first place, with all these lawsuits and the IRS on you like this. But back to the paid in full thing that it seemed like Dame already addressed in a manner that made it true, but we'll get to that clip in a second. This is still on 50 Cent's gram. All right. I'm not saying that 50 Cent tells zero lies. But 50 Cent says, I now have the rights to paid in full. I'm deploying it into a premium TV show. If you like Godfather of Harlem, you're going to love this. Cam set to executive produce alongside me. If you want to get at him, I'm out of the country. And when we see Cam's response, and he's got 50 Cent playing in the background, Cam has graduated above trying to just keep it 1,000 with people that I came up with in that respect. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying it's wrong, but he's graduated above that. He's transitioned into a place where he's making consistent big money. Right? It's not like hustling an album and hoping that you land on the charts and how many pieces get sold and I got to go on promo tours and all that. Give him a topic a day. It could be Adrian, Broner, whoever. He's going to run the content daily. He's probably got a set deal. He's probably getting this, probably getting that. He's another one of those guys I'm looking at and I'm saying, I think you're making more money now than you did when you were in the record industry. And that's common. Same for Joe Budden. Damn sure same for Gilly the Kid. Right? Same for Jay-Z. What do you want to go with? The big example, the biggest examples, or the smallest examples? Like, it's the transitions and these other things that take these. Ciroc, the liquor label, Rick Ross pushes that Bel Air and all that shit for a reason. Makes more money and all this other stuff more than they do from dropping music. All right? That's why people be joking. Drake will dish you for it. Said my streaming little homie's making more than my ops. Some of your ops, that's true. That's true. So 50 Cent and Camron aligning, it's also where they're at in their careers. It's just things that make sense. We have voices, we have platforms, we have fan bases. It's a content world. The Dame Dash sour people of the world that are still trying to push DVDs. I'm saying that like I'm saying that metaphorically. Let them stay in the eras that they're staying at as we continue to build even to new levels in our 40s, in our 50s, in our 60s. That's what they're doing. And you could sit there in the corner and scrounge if you want. And they're going to be happily in their coffins like Charlamagne the God, making millions of dollars while you beg them to come on their platform to explain why you're not broke. We're being very reality-based today, people. I'm sorry, Dame, I'll fuck with you. But sorry, it's true. Look at this shit. There's one more thing because Dame says he brought up when 50's mentioned a previous show. He says it's not out yet. You know, so Dame called Cap on 50 for that paid in full post, even though Dame didn't react like that initially. So 50 says here, 50 Cent, Dame going out bad. I don't know why he would say I'm capping about anything. Award-winning projects take time. Catch 50 ways to catch a killer on Fox Nation now. That was the same for his studio build-out. Rick Ross started getting impatient and saying, yo, what's up? You need a loan. You need the money. Where's the build out? Where's the build out? And it took a while. I opened my little hair and nail salon, and that shit took, I'm trying to remember. All I remember is we projected like a month or two, and them doors were still closed while we was building it all out. And we was paying a lease on a place when we didn't even have the front doors open yet. And I was losing money, a mile a minute. Every day that passed, losing money, you know. But that's not even from an opening the door standpoint. This is from I own the rights or something, and now to go into production, to develop it, to platform it, to all these. And Dame did that before. Now that I think about it, he did that before. He did that with 50 when he saw that studio build out that 50 announced, and when he got on his Tyler Perry shit, and everybody was like, "Ooh, that's going to cross you into being a billionaire." And when Dame was going back and forth with him, he says, let's do this. Let's drop our networks on the same day and see who does better. And I was just like, Dame, you are too industry savvy and experienced to say something, to think that we are that dumb. 50 Cent got this $1 billion project, right? It's got 1 million wheels and 1 million people tied to this shit. And you are, from what we see, hitting the public switch on a YouTube channel. Something that takes my son 2 hours to do. Literally. 2 hours to do. And I was just like, damn, are you crazy? Here's another contradiction. I'm getting a little bit off topic of the jewels of this, but, you know, he was sitting up there arguing about his, you know, pulling out his teeth being a form of confidence to show the world. That's a lie, Dame. Because while you were doing that shit with 50, talk about let's drop our networks on the same day, your teeth accidentally fell out. You said, oh my God. You passed your phone to wifey and at that point you were viral, and you got to own it. You got to 8 Mile it at that point. Like, hey, yeah, my teeth. But you didn't just come out one day and said, hey, I just want to make an announcement, people. My teeth are falling out. I don't have, no, they fell out on accident while you were in the middle of dissing 50 Cent. Dame, I love you, man, but there's a lot of cap in your shit. And the more I'm processing and thinking, the worse it's getting for you. I'm sorry, man. All right, let's I don't even gotta play the rest of that. This is the one earlier though, when I said he gotta be careful. The same thing came up on Young Thug last week. You know, he accidentally brought up an example of can't trust somebody if they're gay or something, remember? And then he spent like 30 seconds trying to sweep it up. Like, well, I got gay people that work for me. I'm mad I even said that. I ain't gonna ask you to edit that out. You should have. And then here you go, TMZ, one of the runners of the platform is of a certain preference. They're gonna run this type of content on you too. The same way they did Young Thug, and here you go for Dame now. Dame Dash versus Charlamagne the God. I think you're gay and a bad rep for masculine black men. So even if this doesn't kick up a whole bunch of dust, like what happened to Baby and Elton John's and all these people come out, there's always an impact behind the scenes that you don't see, right? There could just be 1,000 people over here that would buy your album or would buy your movie, but they saw you on Breakfast Club, and those little 1,000 people that you never meet, you never hear about, you never see, say, I'm good on Dame. That's how fast it happens. That quick. This is why people come out and they do these over apologetics, you know, videos and whatnot towards the gay community or LGBTQ community. But even if it doesn't get big, it's still an impact. It's still an impact. And even TMZ, they probably would love to run any negative content on you because of this too. You know? Now, is it being stretched? Maybe. Maybe he was really just making a point about being masculine. But the people that are offended don't give a fuck about what your intentions were. That's how it happens. All right? Well, his Dame Dash return to the Breakfast Club was nothing short of fireworks. We knew that.
I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man.
That right there, that right there is what becomes the focus. The equation of being a masculine black man or a proper black man or a sturdy black man and being gay. The LGBTQ community will stand up very tall and say, you can be both at the same time. You could be a real man. You could be a real black man. You could be a real white man or anything under the sun and be gay at the same time. That's going to be their position. Right? Anything that degrades these pockets of people while you're really just trying to argue with Charlamagne. When I say Dame Dash seems to be a person that has always been his own worst enemy, this is why. His own worst enemy. I hear that, but you know, you're not looking up. You're not looking good up there, buddy. You know, you're not looking good up there at all. You know, but leave it alone. I didn't even know we were gonna get an hour out of the Dame Dash topic, but it is what it is. Speaking of it is what it is, perfect transition on accident. Let's go to Adrian Broner and Camron. Was he right? Was he wrong to kick him out? Let's see.
You look so good in person.
Thank you.
For
I
real.
appreciate that.
Hey,
What you waste that? I love you. What a guy. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Arabia, is that a real background?
Hey, Stack, could you stop
Yes.
smiling? Can you stop smiling? You
Arabia is
nah, yo, bro, some G, yo, bro, some G shit. We gotta.
Oh,
I have boyfriend
alright,
here, yo.
alright. Oh shit.
I
My
told
bad.
you that.
My bad. My bad.
Nah, like it's all like. Okay, we can move on to football. Then.
Stack. Oh my god.
Just that. Let's do the football. I guess that answered the question about Floyd. When I see you taking off some
I'm
time, and
mesmerized by Stack.
this nigga here, bro.
I did not know you looked that good in person. My bad, bro. You're amazing.
All right, hey, we gonna have to ask you to go, my nigga. I mean, I have to ask you to go, man. I'm gonna pay you for your time, for being here. I appreciate you.
Paying him out in cash like this is even a spectacle. Cam is such a petty nigga.
But
I
love you, my nigga.
Because you know you can be like, yo, give me a second, man. I'm get you your bag. But all this, I'm gonna pay you out for your time. That's part of him paying Adrian Broner back, metaphorically speaking, in the moment. I don't mean cash wise, like literally paying him back for how he feels towards how this interview is going. This is part of it. Like, no, we're not gonna just be like, oh, well, he's just completing the business, paying him. Nah, this is part of the spectacle. I'm telling you.
I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, no. I can't.
not
I asked
doing
you
it
the
again.
first time. I don't have no problems with you, but I'm gonna pay you for your time. But you can't violate, bro. I told you that.
I'm not though. I'm not.
Nah, I told you niggas boyfriends are here. You know when my brother
Oh,
and
shit,
all that.
my bad, bro.
Nah. But I appreciate your time.
It's me. It's me.
Well, if you want to
It's
wait
me.
for us outside, you could. But I'm not
Oh.
going to sit and not value your
Oh.
time neither.
You want to wait for us outside? Oh my God.
Good, but I appreciate it, bro. You gotta jump out.
You gotta jump out. Give him a little side hug. What the fuck? Oh my God.
You
at Mace.
look so good in person.
Thank you.
Oh my God. All right, let's see this little clip also of after Adrian was put out. Cam looks disgusted. B, look at his face. Just look at his face before I click play. Look at his face. Look at this. Look at it. Somebody come look at this. Look at his face.
I'm going high.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Let's take that over.
Yeah.
I was looking at
You're
people.
good.
I'm sorry.
I'll do it again. 5.
Somebody's going to talk to me. You are. I don't want to talk to you. I just needed you for entertainment for the show. Fucking. Go ahead, man. My bad.
No, you're all good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back. Now let's get into our underdog picks of the day.
I'm going high.
Say that.
Is the only issue that I think people would take with Cam in the midst of all of this. Let's go to his side first. Is what he said in that clip right there. You know, the ways of the world, duh. Like everybody's being used. If you can't be used, you're useless. Some people move by that philosophy, right? But if you hug the guy, you treat him with all this respect. I love you, or give all this on the way out, and then when he's out, you know, another clip you guys release is the, I only got you up here for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Bitch ass nigga, you alcohol or druggy. It's like, that's not how you treated him while you was walking him out. It was hugs and kisses and shit. That's the only thing that's a little like, damn. But that's also the industry. It's like, it's the smiles, it's the hugs, it's the I love yous. Hey, bro, I love what you're doing. Come on up. I'm a big fan of you. I'm just here for content. I'm just here for business, So the Adrian Broners of the world also need to know that you're not amongst brothers 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Maybe higher than that. Maybe 9.9 times out of 10. You think you're in the mix of brothers, and let something be unpreferable. You're going to see the snitches, people putting you in jail, people fire you, people do deals behind your back. So that's the only thing that I think people take an issue with Cam for. But was Adrian Broner wrong? Fuck yeah. And people, stop going around the internet with this. He was drunk, or first of all, if he was, that's never going to be a scapegoat. You can't compound problems for justification. It doesn't work like that. But he was drunk. Oh, then the question becomes, why are you walking into a professional engagement? And it's a professional engagement because you have agreed upon terms, which is why you got paid, even when the fucking interview was cut short. He paid you. You were up there to do a job, content, talk. If it was just about us hanging out as homies, we wouldn't be on the platform. We'd just be on the phone chopping it up in private. So it's a job. It's a certain level. I understand some of these platforms, you see the ghetto nature of them. It's like we now brought the barbershops on camera. So the way that we talk feels like the barbershop. Like, it's not where I'm supposed to be all professional and have my suit and tie on, right? But that's not the reality of content, though, and business. Yes, Cam's up there with Mace acting ignorant as shit or wilding out and talking a certain way and being hood and being ghetto, but it's all being licensed, monetized, business put together by real entities, Revolt and whatnot above them. It's no different for me. I could be extremely unprofessional. Me cursing, or people might feel a way about even the way I talk, but this is still a job. Right? There's still business and my LLC and taxes. I have to file taxes for this podcast. You think Uncle Sam is going to give a fuck about me being drunk on the stream all the time? So that's why I didn't pay the taxes for the Sorry Shoe podcast. So I don't want to hear the drunk shit. Okay? Be professional. Be professional. All right? That's number one. Number two, the clip that we just watched was edited, meaning there's time between every time that he goes at Stat Baby. You know what I mean? But they just showed the highlights of it. And that means that over the course of time, he continued to do it. So when you do it 1, 2, 3 times or whatever, listen, we men. I ain't going to get on no corny shit. You're around a girl that you like, shoot your shot. How many times do we see people come on shows, people do interviews, and we watch Rampage Jackson hump, literally hump on female interviewers. I'm not saying shoot that type of shot. You want another shot that you shouldn't shoot? Here's a controversial one. Remember Mike Tyson when he was annoyed at the female interviewer? He was like, you shouldn't ask me no questions unless we fornicate. Reference king. I'm using that extreme sarcastically. But people will shoot their shot in interviews on platforms. Somebody would probably flirted with Molly before, attractive co-host and whatnot. I watched what's the girl, the big talk show host that retired, the white girl, that was heavily into black guys. She was dating 50 Cent for a while. Chat, help me out. What's her name again? The talk show host girl. She's retired now though. I'm gonna pause for that. I'm not gonna lose my thought. I'm with you. I'm with y'all. What's her name? She had the big talk show, and she was fucking with 50 Cent for a minute. The white girl. What is her name? There you go. Appreciate it. Chelsea Handler. And on the flip side, remember the one where she did with T.I.? Now this is her show. This is reverse. She's sitting in Cam's seat, right? She went crazy at T.I. She is flirting her ass off with T.I. Oh, look at your smile. Look at your teeth. You got a girlfriend? You got a situation Ti up there? Everybody know my situation. I got a little situation. She flirting her ass off with Ti. Remember that shit? People gonna shoot they shot. It's okay. So we're not gonna get corny now and get mad at Adrian Broner for that. The fault comes in one when you make it uncomfortable, and you have to be able to feel that. It becomes uncomfortable when you're not getting any energy of things being receptive or reciprocated. Okay. So if I walk up on a girl right now in a bar, even if I say something super polite, like, hey, I saw you from across the room. I was highly attracted to you. I want to come over and introduce myself. Highly polite. Or you got belligerent motherfuckers that'll say something extreme. Yo, I'm looking at you in that dress. I'm trying to fuck tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of which approach you are, how the response is should tell you to stop or continue. So even if you take the nasty one, the top one, the belligerent one, the rude one, right? If she turns back around and says, "Oh, you digging this dress? I wore it for you, daddy." Hey, you won. What comes back? Okay. So if that baby is not in that interview reciprocating, like, oh, really? I appreciate, and you too. I used to always watch all your fights and all that. These are signals between, man. We know this shit. These are signals. If you got none of that, that is fault number one for you continuing, especially within a professional space. Fault number two is when Cam tells you or asks you, not only am I asking you to stop, but I'm also telling you her boyfriend here, and it's kind of disrespectful to him and to me because her boyfriend is my people's. And then you continue after that. Nah, get the fuck up and get out. I take no issue with it. You're making things uncomfortable. And the Adrian Broners of the world, you can't think your celebrity supersedes putting people in awkward or uncomfortable or rude positions or disrespect. People, I've seen that. I've seen Lil Wayne do Reference King. Lil Wayne did that to what's a corny nigga name? So, I shouldn't have said that. I take it back. Respectfully. Safari. I reference too fast, so I gotta slow down my words sometimes. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. But anyway, the point that I'm making, the reference that I was using. Remember when Lil Wayne was flirting with Nicki Minaj right in front of Safari? And it's like and the nigga even said it, like, "I'll blah, blah, if I was your man." And then he turns to Safari and says, "Respectfully." What? Nigga, respectfully, this knuckle sandwich I got for you, B. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't think, well, Lil Wayne got away with it. Safari let him get away with it. But you can't think your celebrity gives you a pass to being rude or disrespectful or stepping on other men. And people make that mistake a lot. Adrian Broner, you was clearly told she got a man. Man is here. But I'm Adrian Broner. And he even said that while he's in the process of being kicked out. He said, "It's me." These are all indications that you're a little bit too full of yourself. I'll give y'all this quick story before I close out the Adrian Broner shit. So some of y'all have seen on my Instagram, and you may have heard little stories in battle. Like people like Froze spoke about it. Some battle rappers spoke about it. There was a time when I was in sport boxing promotions. Okay. And it was a beautiful job because it put me in all these different states, wherever the fights was being hosted. I had to travel to that state with the whole crew. And when I say the crew, I'm talking about like the Max Kellermans, the Emmanuel Stewarts, the Roy Joneses, the Lennox Lewises, the sports announcers, the people that put together the whole. I've watched boxing arenas get built from the ground up. When you walk into a basketball court and they build it in a day and turn it into a boxing arena. You know what I'm saying? I watched these motherfuckers go through the whole process of televising pay-per-view from the morning until that pay-per-view cuts on. And then the main, I watched it all ringside, like literal. I'm not talking about ringside like where the seats start of like the fans where you could buy. I'm talking about the ones in front of that, the press and where the people that's working the event sit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, during that whole thing, I met Adrian Broner because I'm behind the scenes with the boxers as well. I met Adrian Broner before he took off, before some of his big wins. And I'm not always right, but I be having like a good judge of character, and I got a lot of intuition about how people act and how people move and how people talk. And I don't always react or speak to it. So I wolf in sheep clothes a lot. I'm the type of guy that'll let a verb tell me straight up, I'm going to bring Drake to your platform, me versus Drake, if you push back me and I versus I and Solomon. Meanwhile, I know that you literally just flew back from recording your face off with you and Loaded Lux. And I'll let you sit there and talk to me like I'm an idiot. I'll wolf in sheep clothes. Really? Word? Yo, damn, I just don't want to have to adapt to Drake's schedule. Yo, let's just keep our date. That's how I'll play it. Sometimes I'll dress you and call you out. Other times I'll play stupid. It's a very smart thing to do, depending on the situation. If you're still trying to get something or lead it a certain direction, sometimes you got to play dumb. Yeah, I don't know. I know you're lying right to my face, but I'm gonna let you think that you're getting over. That's cool. Adrian Broner, I'm in this behind the scenes. They're coming in and they're like signing off on like certain waivers and stuff and whatnot. And all the boxes in that card is there. And he walks in. He's half looking bummy. Like I said, it was earlier in his career. He walked in and he was just that person. The loudest person in the room. He's a little arrogant. He was by himself. Wasn't a star yet. You know, and the way he was talking to people, it's a very professional environment where you're surrounded by a lot of people that are part of putting all of this together. It's a who's who type of thing. It's the type of room you walk into and you shake hands and you're just like, you know, nice to meet you. You the person that runs CompuBox. You're the person that's going to be clicking the buttons every time I throw a jab. Shake his hand. You know, he walked in there very abrasive. And it stuck with me. It stuck with me. And I looked at him a certain way, like, yo, you. And we meet people like this all the time, every fucking day. And as I continue to watch his career, some of it was used as promotion and some of it was part of his sale, that arrogant side of who he is off camera behind the scenes. Some of that, was when he was winning. That's when you can use it. That's when, if you're in the ring post battle and you start having a girl brush your hair, brush your waves and all that shit like he did, you know, they will pay to see you win and they will also pay to see you lose. That's how Mayweather took his career to the next level. You know, he went from being Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather. And the Money Mayweather had a little bit of a bad guy image to it. The Mexican killer, whatever. I'm walking out during my Mexican fights wearing sombreros. It's almost like you're mocking. You know, you start throwing money around, burning money on camera and all this type of shit. But you fucking, as long as you're going to win, right? With that promo run and that fuck it, pay to see me win or lose, it'll work. And that's why the motherfucker's a billionaire, right? Mayweather. But Adrian Broner was on a similar type of with his arrogance, but you started losing. Okay. So the real you could be used by marketing, you know, in HBO Sports or Showtime Sports, or they'll use it. They'll let you be an asshole. They'll sign you and they'll get paid off of your bullshit and your arrogant asshole ways. And then they won't be there for you. And you won't have the people to call and ask for help because of all these bridges you burned in the way you treated people when you was on your way up. And then you'll have somebody like a Camron trying to treat you like a sucker by paying you in cash like that on camera. I'm gonna pay you for your time. She tried to treat you like a sucker by doing that. He didn't have to do that. So it's a respect thing that he's never carried outside of when he was hot. And I think he earned it for himself. And I've seen it with my own eyes. But anyway, shout out to Adrian. Who's been hanging around for battle rap? The battle rap topic of today's stream. All right, let's get to it. We already an hour and 15 in. Hey, we be working, man. We be working. So this official and Coffee Brown thing, in many people's eyes, is taking a whole bunch of different turns. So where it's at, there was always going to be controversy around the fight. You know, it's battle rap. It's a stage. They're in the middle of performing. There's always going to be a debate about what the fight is over, right? That's always going to come into play. And then people's reasonings, especially after the fact, everybody's going to pay attention to. I'm pretty sure if I go to 15 Minutes of Fame's channel and look at their post-event interviews, I bet you the Coffee Brown one is probably one of the top, if not the top highest viewed one. Maybe Mook is. And then after that, it's probably Coffee. I definitely liked many performances more than Coffee's this past Saturday. But why would that one have? So stop the hypocrisy, people. Everybody's following the story. All right. Let me take that shit off the fucking table. So where it is now is official is coming forward with alleged receipts of somebody that allegedly passed away, not being deceased, but instead being covered up. As if that were true, that is one of the most bugged out things I've ever seen in battle rap. But I'm not going to be the guy to put that on somebody. I just think I'm in battle rap. I'm retired, but I'm in battle rap. So I pay attention to all of this shit. And this storyline is like, it's wild. It's fucking wild, you know? But this clip official puts up. She is confirming that the nigga we met for 5 years as Coffee's man is the nigga I pulled up is a baby daddy. So this is a clip I assume looks like official put up yesterday. It's got 25,000 views. I guess she's trying to use Coffee's own words against her in this clip. So let's check this clip out before we move on to official.
Okay. So I'm not going to keep playing with y'all. This is a nigga that was for 5 years. All of y'all called him Coffee Man because he didn't even tell y'all his real name. He didn't like you niggas and he would slap these bitches. He told bitches that. I never dated or fucked with niggas that play like that. So I'm not finna go on here proving anything to you weird ass niggas because I don't even grieve in public. It's none of y'all fucking business. It's none of y'all fucking business. I didn't grieve my grandfather in front of y'all. I didn't grieve my best friend in front of y'all. I didn't grieve my brothers in front of y'all. I'm not gonna grieve my baby daddy in front of y'all. Who the fuck are y'all? What are y'all gonna help me with?
So, if that's the official, is definitely wrong.
Deal with it.
Okay.
Can y'all spare me a minute or two to side topic that before I get into official? Please bear with me, because it just made me think about something that I think we need to pay attention to in the public, especially in battle rap, which is an extremely toxic environment. Your personal stuff, whether it could be somebody that's deceased, friend, the family, whether it's how you live, where you live, you see what I just went through on yesterday's stream. Now I think about it, right? I came over with my skin crawling, like, all right, I'm gonna go there. And I really, really appreciate y'all that like DM me and text me after that. Like, yo, that was a sick intro to your stream. And I really, really appreciate that, man. Shout out to my homie DW. One of the folks that's the attorney that said that watches us a lot, and I get a lot of advice from him. He hit me about that yesterday. I'm only flashing to show you. I don't cap for y'all. I don't lie. I leave that to them niggas, the lying. You know what I'm saying? I probably was just talking to a couple people just now. This one from Any Kania. Thank you. People that hit me up about the intro to yesterday's stream. But anyway, the only situation I remember of somebody being so quiet and personal and reserved about something that they had going on, whether it was like a loss or, was Jay Black. I'm not saying that's the only time it happened, but the one that I remember when Jay Black, was it when Tech Nine passed away? It was either when Tech Nine passed away or when Jay Black's mother passed, and rest in peace and condolences, both scenarios, of course. But I remember it probably was the Tech Nine one, because I remember online, like, so many people like calling for Jay Black because that was his co-host, and there was controversy around Tech Nine after his passing. Respectfully, I'm not going to get into it, but because he was the co-host on Champion with Jay Black, it's the call for Jay Black. Jay Black was somewhere in his own world, which is where he was supposed to be, dealing with real life. you know, not dealing with the internet. And when he did address it, he fucked y'all over. He was like, you think I give a fuck about, like, you know? And he was right. Now, I say that to say, same thing that I was a victim of for the last 10 years. I shouldn't call it a victim, my own victim. Victimized myself there, but I released it yesterday in the intro, in the stream. Is your personal stuff. So I don't know how much Coffee has ever talked about, you know, her exes or her baby daddies or somebody if she's ever rapped about it or talked about it or addressed it in interviews, you give it to the internet in any form, even if you were responding to a false accusation, and that's just how it goes, right or wrong. You give any information to the internet, they become the owners of it. It's hurt me before too. You know, they become the owners of it. And if your private life of like who you're dating, who you're fucking, who's your baby father, dare I say, if you have to be that private because of the space you're in is so toxic and it's public, like battle rap is going on all these different platforms and talked about across every corner of the earth. Some people might even second guess even bringing their baby mama or their baby father to an event, because at some point you can be attacked then, or you can be talked about, or you could be brought in. We've seen that happen millions and millions of times. So battle rap people, remember, anything that you never want to hit the internet, you have to be overly protective of it and shadowy of it. And that's what I went through on my stream yesterday, you know? And now if somebody disrespects me in a way that makes me want to do something, like I took that chance of putting something personal out there. Okay. It took me 10 plus years, but I took that chance. And then I have to then be responsible for my actions, because them motherfuckers ain't gonna have me in court paying attention to those circumstances, the small details of why I did what I did. It's gonna say you did it, and they're gonna deliberate over that. But anyway, that was just a quick side topic. Let's go to what Official is talking about. The receipts that she came with is crazy.
Y'all said that I disrespected the dead.
And real quick too, shout out to, I think this is on Battle Rap Trap. Shout out to Trap, keeping up with a lot of content, a lot of news. Trap is a guy that I know is always going to be putting together clips and tweets and stuff. So when I need like a quick update, you know, that's one of the platforms you can go to. So shout out to Trap.
First, that's why I had to have the dead disrespected back. But the issue is, ain't they?
It's 4 in the morning. I'm thinking about money. I need it. I want it. I can't even sleep.
Long intro?
Gone anymore. Entertained because it's a.
Didn't know if there was a long intro. My bad.
Got the streets. All right. Are you not entertained? You should be, man. This Coffee Brown and Official situation has boiled to new height. Maybe I shouldn't have used the word entertained, because there's a lot of darkness going on in this situation right here as well, man. But shout out to Polo World, man. If you're not keeping up, you got to go back on the channel. I did a lot of documenting on this situation. I even dropped a blog about an hour ago, but then I saw Polo was live. He had Official on there, and Official brought receipts, man. So regarding the angle of Coffee's baby father being passed away versus him being alive and Coffee actually lying and saying he passed away for other reasons, Official brings all of her reasoning in for thinking that he's still alive, man. First, she shows the day that Coffee alleged that he died and compared it to him being arrested the day after. Also shows a recent arrest as of last year. Check this out.
First, put up her screenshot of her saying he dead. Let's get that one first. This was on the 27th. He went to jail the next day on the 28th. A bunch of people in battle rap have personally met this. If y'all been a fan of Coffee, y'all seen this when she was back.
This tweet right here is something that kind of applies to that little side topic I had. Now, of course, resting condolences to whatever Coffee got going on, of course, and respect. But this tweet, Coffee, respectfully, like this is like us all learning together about how the internet will do us. Okay. You tweet, wow, ... My daughter's dad just died. I don't know what to say for real. This is insane. You put that out for the world. You know, respectfully, when some people's family, that was my example of Jay Black, it's not a tweet. You know, they don't tweet that. So for somebody to tweet this for something that is supposed to be so very major, now I'm not saying it's supposed to be, it is very major for you or for other people, you must have a grieving type of approach of inviting people into the news. That's just the reality of having something that serious going on and then going onto your phone and tweeting it. Okay. And you can't tell somebody how to grieve. Right. So sometimes a tweet could be therapeutic because maybe you're using that as a way to get the word out, and maybe it's a cry for help. Now I'm like trying to give credit to Coffee of like why somebody could tweet that. I'm not saying exactly why she did, but I could see why people shouldn't, and I could also see why some people might. You know, I'm not saying Coffee when I'm about to say the word attention. Some people in the world even do it for attention, though. You know, people do things for attention. People do things for cries for help. People do things for clout. People do things out of confusion. All these different reasons, and only Coffee knows why she would tweet that. But the moment you do, you give it to the internet and you bring them into it. So that's your choice instead of grieving in private, which is the clip that I think she played earlier. That's why one of the reasons why Official puts that up. Like, I don't grieve. Fuck y'all. I don't need y'all to put y'all in my business. I don't grieve to y'all. I ain't tell y'all when this person passed. I ain't tell y'all what that person passed. I ain't tell y'all what this. I don't grieve in public. But this is your tweet for your baby father, allegedly, though. So just take that as a jewel, people, to be careful of what you're thinking or what type of response you're really intending for when you tweet something so personal like that or what you got going on in life.
Miss Miami and the video with Sandman, that's that came running out, him right there. So let's say she can say, oh, he died, he was on the way to dying. Let's pull up his most recent arrest in April.
This is his most recent. This is his most recent arrest right here. It shows the book date for the 25th of April 11th.
All right, so we see the guy, and I do recognize the guy as the person that used to be with Coffee Brown at the events and all that. Then Official continues, and she connects the location of his arrest to the location of their baby shower registry and all that. Check this out.
Y'all seen the first one I posted said that it was in Lawrenceville is where he got arrested? What does that say for her registry for her kid? What is the city that say that she live in? And now she can't say, oh, I got pregnant by another nigga. No, you said your baby daddy that died was your fiance. That was about to be your husband. This is the nigga.
Now Official connects the dots of him still being alive by showing his mother actually saying happy birthday to him last year via social media. Check this out.
The mother actually posted him saying happy birthday.
This is last year. Tell me if this sounds like the death of a nigga, a post of a mother that someone just died.
It said, happy birthday to my middle son, Zay, 27 years old today. May God continue to cover him in all you do. And this is September 2nd, 2024.
No, wait, he's not dead.
And then she also disputed what Coffee said on Angry Fan about 40 being the person who started the rumor by using Coffee Brown's own tweet. Check this out.
Pull up the clip she did on Angry Fan where she said where it came from, that rumor came from. Can you pull that up, please?
Yeah. 40 Bars said somebody told her that and she believed the source. Me and 40 Bars chopped it up because there's nobody that's ever addressed my dad and I didn't address them.
Did she not just say 40 is the one who got it from somebody and that's how the rumor started? What that say, bro? Can y'all imagine having a baby and finding out a couple months later that is gay like dog? She just lied and said that it came from 40. She came from you.
All right, now I got to commend Official for doing a lot of research in this situation. Then Coffee joined. And she basically said, not so fast. You think you know something, but you have no idea. Check this out.
I'm not finna go back and forth because I'm not here to argue. I want to bring my receipts. She's saying that that's my dead daughter's dad. She's saying I'm lying about him being dead, my daughter's dad. So I can't give y'all no facts when I'm on the freeway driving. I literally just picked my mom up from the airport. No, mom, I'm gonna pay attention. I'm gonna bring my facts. And I want y'all to know it's not going to change nothing. We're not doing no boxing. It won't be no head ups. Everybody head stay on the swivel. I'm going to keep watching the chat because I just want you to I want to keep sending this to my dead baby dad's family. But I'm going to come back with my receipts and you just keep thinking you got teeth. Hold on. You thought you had facts. You thought you had facts. You don't have facts. I'll be back, Piper Boy, whoever not getting on polo shit with my
Get your lying ass up out of here, then, man.
All right, now after Coffee dropped off, official continued. She heard Tay-Rock was in the chat. And if y'all don't know, man, Tay-Rock and Coffee Man, as we used to call him, got into it a couple years ago back there. And I think we was in North Carolina. I was in the building for this battle. Got real intense out there, got real intense outside. I'ma leave that there. But official did ask Tay-Rock, was that the same person he got into it with? Check this out.
Wait a minute. Tay-Rock in the chat. Tay-Rock, is that the same you got into it with when she battled Coffee, when Caution battled Coffee? Tell me that's not the same.
This is wild.
Yeah, Tay-Rock
said that's him. Oh, man.
Thank you.
Man.
All right, so once again, shout out to Polo World. That's a classic interview, or however you want to call that, right?
Shout out to Polo. Shout out to Trap. Shout out to Official. Shout out to Coffee. Shout out to Caps was up there. Shout out to Piper Boy was up there. Shout out to Tay-Rock enters the chat. Like, y'all know how I am around my peers, man. So the reason why I expect this to continue on, it gets these type of legs because, especially in battle rap, like your reputation, your image is super tied to your booking, your success. In battle rap, you can't survive unless you're like a super duper top tier or like a god tier. Rarely can you survive, taking huge hits on your reputation the way like you do in the industry. Like we say all the time, 6ix9ine is still making money. Young Thug's got a career as long as he still, does what he needs to do. Come on, Drake is not going anywhere. That's foolish. Gunna came out and started charting after, even when y'all was the worst on him. Yeah, y'all still had him charting, right? So that's not battle rap. Battle rap is too small to make some of these artists survive, except like the god tier crop of people through big controversy. So people overfight for their reputations in battle rap. Jones says stuff like that a lot on his streams. He's like, nah, we're not doing that. And you see he'll go on full campaigns, pulling up the people's cribs, all types of stuff, or buildings. There's a million examples I can give you from battle rap about it. So that's why I say don't expect this to just be the end all be all, that stream right there, because if let's say Coffee was wrong in this situation, right? Then she knows like it affects her status, it affects her reputation. This is how people know her. So the celebrity that Coffee Brown has or following that she has comes from battle rap, and you would be completely tainted in that space, and it's also a big thing to lie over, like somebody being alive or dead, right? So she's going to continue to, I'm sure, come with what she said, her receipts, like, oh no, she can't allow that, and on official side, it's also tied to throwing a punch on a stage, because the whole angle is about, whose deceased is being disrespected, and should I go for that, so if Coffee's on official side, if it's like, no, if your baby father's alive, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you the worst type of person. You out here creating deaths, to avoid battle rap angles, allegedly. Then don't try to say that I disrespected you first when I punched you in the face, even though I'm never going to condone a punch getting thrown on stage. Never, right? But I see why they have the argument, and it's tied to it's tied to their bookings, it's tied to their reputation, it's tied to their battle rap fame, it's tied to everything, And I think Coffee is in a worse spot than Official is, because even if the whole battle rap culture said, Official, you are so wrong for throwing a punch no matter what, you should have walked around the corner. Battle rap is a arena of aggression. So at the end of the day, people will get over that and just be like, oh, she's stepping for her mama, like she tweeted, or that's some gangster shit, throwing a punch. Everybody talk this tough shit. She actually hitting on people. So official is not in the worst spot here. I'm talking about as far as, you know, what happened on stage, why it happened on, why it did or shouldn't have happened on whatever. Coffee's in the worst spot though, because that's why she wants her lick back too. And also the respect factor, because you took the hits. And then on top of that, now officials trying to expose that or further justify her punch. And that also comes with the exposure of what she's saying is a situation with your baby father. So it's a sensitive situation still. And that's why if you see, I'm talking around the edges. If you notice, I'm talking around the edges. And you ain't gonna get no who's right, who's wrong for me. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna stay tapped in. I know people got it in checks and balances. I know I see it anywhere. I see everything that's moving in battle rap, whether I report on it or not. I see everything. You know, so I'm gonna end it the same way I did the other day. I'm gonna say shout out to official, shout out to Coffee. I hope that this ends as amicable as possible. I don't know if they feel like they both passed that. Coffee in there talk about keep your head on a swivel, fuck line up a fade. You know, I hope that enough time could heal where they don't cross paths and things can get de-escalated. Sometimes that's how things play out. People really feel like I know what's up, but time de-escalates it. It's like, I didn't see this person for 3 years. Or you got league owners that are smart enough not to put them on the same fucking card. You know, then it becomes, as the other person the other person get booked. And it's like, no, I'm pulling up. Like, you hope not. You know, so respect to both of them, man. I mean, respect to both of y'all. Charlie Kirk's alleged shooter. What's up with these text messages that they just released? Let's take a look at what's going on here. It says alleged text messages between Tyler Robinson and his roommate after Charlie Kirk's murder revealed. I had enough of his hatred. All right, let's read the text. The roommate. They don't want to put his name, huh? Okay. That means, wait, hold on. That automatically means that this is retyped, right? Because I doubt this guy Robinson would save the person in his phone as roommate. But anyway, roommate, what? You're joking, right? Question marks. Robinson says, I am still okay, my love, right? Should I just read it or should I break it down in sentences? I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I got to grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you. Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Question marks. Robinson, I am. I'm sorry. Roommate, I thought they caught the person. I'm trying to finish the read. Robinson, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. It is so hard for me to believe that this text message is real. It could be. Who the fuck am I? But the name roommate here, that's a catch for me. The name Robinson being highlighted in red, that's a catch for me. The I am still okay, my love, that's a catch for me, because that's like trying to fully quantify, you know, they said that he was staying with a transgender, whatever. And then that creates the motive of, you know, it being hate related, right? Based on his personal preferences and maybe some of the things that Charlie Kirk stands for. Okay. Shouldn't be long. I come home, but I got to grab my rifle. Like, of all things to tell him, I'm on my way home. I'm just hiding out right now. That's enough. Well, I was like, I got to grab my rifle. Like, okay, now you got the rifle in the text. To to be honest, I had hoped to keep this a secret till I died of age. More motive related stuff. The roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Then he says, I am. Like it. This, I know this Fox News is stamped on this, and these text messages are already viral. And I'm not even saying that they don't have their man. I'm not saying that either. I just feel like two things could be one thing could be true and the other can be false. Like you can have the right person, possibly, but you can be further driving into society and into the country how much to hate this man. Everybody agree with him getting the death penalty. He did this out of his hatred for these political campaigns and these political reasons. And we gotta hate him because when we read text messages like this, you know, and the media is the media and the government is the government. I just, this is like the element of who texts like this, and it's like you're trying to capture every piece of what you would want the public to consume in 3 back and forths there. The rifle, no, the old guy didn't do it, I did it, I'm hiding out, I hated him, hey, my love, to establish that we're lovers. Like why did you do it? Let's get more into the motive. Yeah, Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. So this is the really drumming up the radical stuff. Like, why is it even being released? If it's real, if it was real, why is it even being released? This is the type of shit when I say in yesterday's stream, I pay attention to the climate because not everybody's going to read it like me and call into question, or even if you believe that the text message was real, not everybody's going to be like me and say, okay, I understand what's going on. That doesn't mean I need to partake. You literally have radicals out there that want to pick up their rifles as per their own videos and say, Trump, give me the green light to go door to door and cleanse this country. Text messages like this, it feels like it's meant to drum up the radicals. And then y'all asked me why my thumbnail yesterday said country at war. The government is playing you motherfuckers so crazy, like they always do historically. They're playing you motherfuckers so crazy, B. They'll lie. Oh my God, they playing y'all. And that's not to say that this is not the shooter. This text message is weird as fuck. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. So let's break down the reports of like how the gun is being evasive and all this. Oh my God. So he's making sure he's giving that to the roommate. Okay. A bit over the week, I believe I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. I'm wishing I had circled back to grab it as soon as I got to my vehicle. Is this the whole thing of why he was arrested without his gun or something? I'm worried that my old man would do what my old man would do if I didn't bring back grandpa's rifle. Okay, so whose rifle was it? I'm struggling to complete the read, people. I really am. I don't even know if it had a serial number. I'm on the run, but I'm texting my roommate about the serial number on the rifle. Yo! It just keeps getting worse, huh? I worry about Prince. Yo, I'm gonna cut this whole stream off in a second. I didn't read to this slide, people, so I'm dying right now. I'm fucking drowning in this shit. They're gonna make it worse and worse. Oh, I worry about Prince. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits. Yep. Oh shit. Nah, everybody listen. Real shit. Let's establish it right here. I don't give a fuck what y'all say out there. Whoever enters the chat, gets mad at me, left, right, people, whatever. This text message is fake. It's fake as shit. It's the fakest thing ever. They could have their man. I will say that a million times, but this text going around this is fake. This is not real. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the fuck will I explain losing the old man? Oh, y'all want to edit out the word fuck though on the redrop. Only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Like, why would he be telling his room? And remember how I was engraving bullets? I'm done. You guys are taking me for an idiot at this point. I'm done. Remember how I engraved the bullets? Because remember those reports came out? Yeah, I'm done. It's taking me too much for an idiot. I can't read it too much, people. I tried. I tried to finish it. It's too much. I can't, man. Pardon for the people that wanted that full read on that. That's just like, come on, ARP. This is still the news podcast, right? I'm sorry, man. I have to drop. Look, just go pull it up on your own. It's out there. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. I'm not finishing that shit. In relation to, let me bring up Candace real quick. Oh my God. Candace Owens delivers a message to anyone who thinks they can replace Charlie Kirk. This is not a threat. This is a promise.
Those of you who think that you are going to replace Charlie Kirk, okay? Kings are born. You don't just get to depose and tell us that we're going to follow this individual, okay? I'm one of the Masons of Turning Point USA. You put a shill in Charlie Kirk's chair, in Charlie Kirk's company, and you try to tell us to follow that individual, I will be an enemy of you. There will be nothing that can stop me. Okay. And I want you guys to understand, this is not a threat. This is a promise. There will be nothing that can stop me. I will release every single text message. So to do those.
Oh, thank God for at least quantifying, because when you were getting in your super tough girl mode, I was curious. I was like, well, when you say it's not a threat, it's a promise. I'm like, well, what's the level? What levels we talk about here? You gonna pick up a rifle? Right? Okay, you're gonna release text messages. Okay, cool. All right.
Those of you who are trying that, I'm seeing the messages. I am telling you to back off right now. Like right now. Don't do it. Okay? Don't you think about it. I know exactly who you are. I know exactly who you were that were exerting pressure. Don't you pretend to be noble now and say nice things about Charlie Kirk and think you're going to slide into his chair. Okay? Over my dead body, which I'm sure can be arranged. Those of you who think.
Careful, shorty. You know, you see how karma, like, don't wish that Charlie Kirk did something like that. Like, you don't say things like that, shorty. You don't need to put that energy out into the world. You're around radicals. You are around radicals, you know? So that's me being humane and saying, hey, life is precious. Don't say that. I know it might be emotional for you over my dead body, and I'm sure it could be arranged. Don't do that. Charlie Kirk put energy out there like that. You know, unfortunately, a few people got to die to protect gun rights per year or whatever. And then he passed by a shooting. It just, chill out, shorty. Chill out. Chill out. I know you're a great speaker, but I did a stream maybe like a year and a half ago. Something was going on with Candace, so I forget. It was like my introduction to her, my first time, like seeing who she is, what she's about. I don't know if it was related to the George Floyd situation. I forget. But my introduction to her, I was just like, I don't vibe. I don't connect with her. She seems like one of them or one of those types. You can put gray around me saying that if you want. I don't want to get into over details right now. I'll say that for a more focused stream. But I remember getting a little bit of backlash, not a lot, but a little bit of backlash of people protecting Candace Owens, you know? And fast forward now to see her alignment with somebody that I don't align with at all, which is a Charlie Kirk type of person. It puts more distance between people of a Candace Owens and people like a me. And that's just my own personal position. You know, it's a type of person that if you befriend them and stand next to them, if you say, this is my brother, I love this person and I'm here to protect whatever, and that person is completely opposite of the type of man that I am, then what does that mean about you? So I wasn't a big fan of her then, and she's showing me why I should be even lesser of a fan of her continued. This is not taking anything away from how smart she is. And just like Charlie Kirk, the Candace Owens of the world, they have some positions, they have some philosophies, they have some ideologies that are actually correct or actually good or actually can be co-signed. And if you watch yesterday's stream, but without me getting too deep into politics, that's why I said the type of person that I am is you cannot control me. You cannot feed me an overly stack of information and force me to say this is 10 pages. You must maintain all 10. I don't live or work like that. I think that that is dangerous. I think that's one of the things that right in front of our eyes is dividing the country. It's always some type of gang or division element. You got to be blood or you got to be Crip. You got to be Democrat. You got to be Republican. You got to be this or you got to be that. No, it's okay to be neutral. And it's okay to say, I respect the Republicans for trying to protect big businesses or whatever, right? But I also don't fuck with them for these type of views. And the Democrats like this, and to be a conservative or a liberal, there's things in all these different places that I agree and disagree with. I don't want to be Democrat and say now everything that comes with being a Democrat, or I gotta hate everything that comes. No, you guys are so division based. And I think that makes you be a radical to a degree. Okay? It makes you be a radical to a degree. You have to ride it. That's when they asked Charlie Kirk, if your 10-year-old daughter was AR'd, what would you do? He says that child must be born. He has to go to the extreme with it because I have to stand on all of these wings policies or philosophies or teachings or preachings. I think those are the people that are the most not crazy, but radical definitely applies. But it's like I say, there's no wars that killed more people than religious based wars, right? People just wars around people's beliefs. You know, it's like imagine being born into a belief structure that says if this person doesn't match the color of my skin, they're bad, they're no good. You know, and walking around like that and being willing to martyr yourself and fly planes into buildings and shit. To accept those type of values, you have to have a little bit of even the brainwashing elements are there. But this is why you create dangerous people that want to pick up arms and go act on your behalf. You know, storm the Capitol on your behalf. Yeah, I don't fuck with Shorty. Let's just make it up 100% official. But we're always going to follow her, report on her. She has a big voice. She has a big following, big fan base. And if we want to counter some of the stuff that we disagree with Shorty, we will continue to do so. We just our little pocket of the internet. But yeah, let's make it official. I don't fuck with Candace Owens. I'm cool. You go support all those same philosophies that your friend does. And if that makes you feel good, and that's, hey, do your thing. All right, last but not least, just a quick follow-up, definitely the shortest one to yesterday. Let's go bigger screen real quick. So David, decomposed body in Tesla identified. All right, that was going to be a major step to this. Of course, that was going to happen in due time, but LA authorities have identified the body found in the trunk of singer David's car. TMZ has learned. A rep for Los Angeles County medical examiner tells TMZ that the deceased has been identified, yet the legal next of kin notification is still pending. And so they're unable to release the name at this time. So that's a formality thing or process thing, it seems. Okay, cool. We spoke to multiple law enforcement sources yesterday who said they had yet to identify the body or the driver. So it seems the body was identified in the last 24 hours. As we told you, police previously revealed the victim is 5'1", 71 pounds. Wait, what? The victim was a 5'1", 71-pound female with wavy black hair and a tattoo on her right index finger, which reads, shh. I've seen a lot of shorter 5'1", 5-foot women before, but 71 pounds? 71 pounds be like a child, no? Oh, now I'm getting scared. Hold on. A 71 pounds is like super sick or a child. I don't know. All right. She was wearing a tube top and black leggings with 2 pieces of jewelry, a metal stud earring and a metal chain bracelet in the shape of a W. When authorities found her body, police had been working vigorously to identify the victim's identity, even since the body parts were found inside the Tesla at a Hollywood impound lot, where it was towed after it was found abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. David owns the Tesla in which the woman's body was found, and it was never reported stolen. Our sources say David fully cooperated with the police. Stay tuned for more developments. Don't want to see anybody lose their life. You know, we respect life over here. But to see 71 pounds is even more spooky. Even more spooky for us people. 71 pounds. To be continued. And I'll leave it there. To be continued. All right. Let me come over to the supers. Almost 2 hours in. Shout out to the supers and everybody that got up in here early. This one was 5:38, so almost 20 minutes before we started at 6 a.m. on a dot. Shout out to our member Sean says, you heard that new West Side? Oh yeah, we read that one. So yeah, I'm gonna try to catch up on that one ASAP. Let me also see if Capo replied to my DM earlier this morning. Is Capo in the building? Yeah, Capo, he replied to me. All right, so the reason why I want to check this DM real quick. Yeah, shout out to our member and our mod Capo. There's a Sorry It's True chat now. I'm not in it yet. I don't mind being in it, joining it. I don't know if it's y'all own thing where it's just like, nah, ARP, get up out of here. Or it'd be cool if I'm in there. Y'all let me know. I could fall back for a few, join later or whatever y'all want to do, man. I'm one of y'all. It's all good. But once again, there is a Sorry It's True chat now. This particular one that I'm learning about is a members only chat. Okay. So it appears that if you want to be, it's probably an IG chat. Yes. If you want to be in the members only Sorry It's True chat, hit up either Capo or You Tried It. They are probably the ones that would add you to it or admins of it, or so that's what I'm getting behind the scenes. That's my latest update. That's the latest info I got. But I don't know what y'all got going on in there just yet, but y'all are probably in there reacting, breaking down more news, bringing out more points, discussing things that I was on point with, things that I might have missed, things that I'm wrong about. And that's all dope. That's all dope. So shout out to the Sorry It's True chat that's developing for members only. So there's 2 chats right now. There's the checks and balances chat. It's like less than 10 of us in that one. I'm in that one. That's where we just bring news to the forefront. It's a news one. Now there is a little bit of socializing in there too. Hey, what's up? Shout out to y'all. Good morning. How you feeling? Did you like this? Did y'all check this out? That's not necessarily meant for the stream. There's a little bit of that in there, but it's mostly a news-based chat. The Sorry It's True one for members, I assume that's just, hey, whatever the members is on, the members is on. So that seems kind of cool. And if there was to be a third chat, I would assume to pop up, it would probably be one that doesn't require you to be a member and isn't even focused on only news. It would just be like, hey, whoever's in it is in it. We rocking over here. We chilling. So shout out to y'all, man. I'll continue to keep updates on that. Y'all continue to bring me in the loop. Let me know what's going on out there. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the members. Shout out to the green team. Nikita's in the building, says, good morning. Y'all hit that like button. It's free. Yes. And if you haven't yet, please do so on the way out. Nikita also says he is corny as fuck though, and AB would have got checked the second time he did it. Cause rather my man there or not, you respect us in his presence or absence. Yeah, so you see how my take on AB for that. He's just wrong. It's just wrong. All right, and it fits his personality. It really does. I've seen that with my own eyes. Don Bean, our members in the building. He says, big shout out to ARP and the gang. I'm up in here listening. The squad got me busy in the AM. Sorry Shoot podcast. The best out. ARP. Keep hiding in plain sight. Salute, G. And I got my new A hat on today. This is another one I got this past weekend while I was over in Vegas. Not exactly my style of I don't like the high top, fronts. I like them to curve a little earlier. I forget if that's 940s or 950s style, but I pretty much only wear snapbacks though. I don't fuck with fitteds. But I thought it was still a cool pickup. Got little clouds and shit in the background. I don't know if you could see it that well on the light, but I thought it was alright. I thought it was decent. Fuck. Why did I just go blank, Jay? Why did I just go blank? 111. I just went blank, man. My bad, Jay. I'm tripping. It's like for a split second when I pulled it up, I had it, and then I went blank. I'm tripping. I apologize, love. Shout out to Jay. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. ARP got to go catch Mason Cam. They going on now. I'll probably end up joining you in a little bit, or I'll catch it after. Hit that join button. Yes, y'all. Hit that join button. Y'all become a member. And also, if you become a member, always keep an eye out for some of the exclusive drops. But join the chat, man. Join the chat. I did invite you, ARP, because I thought you was busy, bro. To the Sorry It's True chat. You did? You did? Maybe I missed it. Do me a favor. If it's on IG, do me a favor. You try to shoot me a re-up or something. Or did you put it in the checks and balances? Because I got to catch up in there. We'll get right. Yeah, if y'all want me to join, I'll join. I'm with y'all. Like I said, I'm one of y'all. But I don't know if it's that kind of like, fuck that nigga ARP, man. We're gonna talk about and hear all the shit that he's wrong about. And I'm cool with that. So y'all let me know. I'll listen. I'm a team player, man. I try to go against the grain because I didn't start it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever y'all rules are, I'm gonna follow for that. Sorry, it's true chat. I'm gonna follow y'all rules. Okay. All right. That's a bet I got you, huh? That's what I got you. Yeah. Oh, who's this? Twiz. Get Twiz in there, please. Get our guy Twiz in that Sorry It's True chat. You never know. Twiz will be a guy fuck around and drop some dope graphics in there and whatnot, and hook some of y'all up with custom graphics and whatnot. Please get Twiz in there. That's a homie. That's the homie. Yeah, members, jump over there, people. As y'all see these updates in these streams. Jump over there, go get in the chat. All right. Even if you're the quiet type, just be a part of it. See what's going on. See what exclusive info is in there. You never know. All right. I might jump up in there too. Drop some exclusives. You never know. So, all right, I'm out of here. So Wednesday. So we midweek. Let's keep marching down to this weekend for us weekend warriors. Oh, I work 7 days a week, but my Saturdays and Sundays are at least easier than my Monday through Friday. So I'll catch y'all 6 a.m. in the morning. You know how we do. We out.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without my thing, still got a gun.